Well, an artist has to keep warm, right? I mean, you have to be able to paint and keep those hands fluid so you can do the painting work God has called you to do. You got to be able to keep your paints from freezing. That's important too. So it's time for me to light the fire in the propane furnace in my studio here. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the process of putting in this propane heater. It has to do with this painting here. This painting here actually was a commission portrait, and this is payment for the installation work that installed the propane heater over there. So the guy that helped me pipe that in, put in the venting for it, who's a professional HVAC installer, I did this painting here for him instead of paying him cash for the work. That's what he wanted. He wanted a painting here of the lion and the soldier, which I have almost finished, showing a depiction of him praying and Jesus fighting his battles for him as he goes out to actually face his enemies. But he helped me pipe in this propane heater, put in the venting for it. I want to show you the installation. I walked into my studio today and I realized, man, it's a little chilly in here. It's fall time, and it's time to fire this thing up for the season. So I'm going to walk over there and get this thing fired up and kind of show you how we install the piping for this old propane heater, which is, I think, kind of fun. All right, so we're walking over here, and yeah, this is an old propane heater from the, from I think 1960s. It's even older than me. It's nice. Needed a little bit of work to get it to function properly, but now it is. All last year it was putting some great heat here in my studio. I have a little fan above. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe it's off camera, but that kind of blows the heat through the studio here. But I have my propane on. Everything's good. So now it's just time to get that pilot light going and get the lighter going before I do that. All right, now we have a flame. I'm just going to hold this button down for a little bit. All right, I'm going to light this up here. Let me just ask a blessing on this heater for this season. Father, bless this heater, help it to be able to put out good heat for the studio for the winter months. I pray that it would work well and there be no malfunctions. Thank you for this heater, Lord, in Jesus' name, amen. All right, so I'm going to turn this to the right and get that fired up. There we go. We got flame. Everything is working now. We got a flame in there, and heat should be coming out through the top because this is they call it gravity-fed heater, and means basically it just works by convection. We have the hot air going through the bottom with that combustion chamber in the bottom, and then heat comes out through the grill on the top. Very simple, not many parts to it. Above you can see the piping, and this is what I wanted to talk to you about, was the installation process. And with that installation process, it just involved putting in this exhaust pipe. Because prior to this, I had one of those ventless heaters that you just attach, to the propane line, and the flame comes out. There's no exhaust vent for it, and it's supposed to be, ventless. It doesn't need anywhere for the combustion products to go. It's not supposed to have a smell to it, but they do have smell. I mean, those heaters just produce a horrible smell to them. I found from experience, almost like a diesel fuel smell. And you think of all these gases like, nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide, as well as a lot of water vapor going into the air. It's not good. So I wanted to have an actual exhaust pipe, and I did some work myself, but then I also had this fellow come out here. His name is Clay Riebe, and he does a fantastic job. So I would definitely recommend hiring him for any work. If you're in the Wisconsin, the central Wisconsin area for installation of propane furnaces or HVAC services. Clay Riebe is the guy to call. But anyway, We put in some piping here. This is, you know, your Maravent Type B gas vent, which is what you need to use. You don't want to be using, you know, non-classified products that aren't rated for gas venting. It's a double-walled pipe, so it doesn't get that hot on the outside. This will get hot eventually if I really turn the flame up, but right now it's cool at the touch. And then, you know, you have to have a series of collars to keep the heat from, you know, getting into any surrounding areas like wood and drywall and potentially causing a fire. So, you know, we had to cut a hole in through the ceiling of the studio and then put in this collar, which I did that work before Clay even showed up, but he helped me more with the roofing part of it, which is what I really needed some expertise for. We put in drill a hole in with the hole saw for the ceiling, made sure everything corresponded. I used a plumb bob, dropping a plumb bob inside the attic. So I went up in the attic of my studio and then dropped a plumb bob there. And you can see, if you look up here at the camera, you can see the collar that I'm talking about, the Maravent collar. And that actually, again, makes sure that the pipe is not actually contacting any wood. There's like an inch gap around it inside that collar. But yeah, we had to, like I say, use a plumb bob to basically make sure that the hole I drilled here would line up with the hole at the top. You know, so I went up into my attic and I dropped the plumb bob down from the spot, you know, on the attic down to this spot here, lining it up. I think what I did is I drilled a hole through here first, a pilot hole, then dropping the plumb bob inside the attic down, making sure we'd have a straight line up with the pipe, because you're really annoying if you're trying to run the pipe up and then the hole you drilled through the roof didn't line up with the hole for the ceiling of the studio, and you'd have your pipe at an angle. You want to make sure that that pipe was going nice and level, nice straight up. So we did that, and then after drilling that hole and everything, and, you know, situating the pipe, making sure everything was flush with that and everything fit together. Then Clay and his brother came over. He helped me drill the hole in the roof with the hole saw.
It's coming. There you go. Got it. Here, I'll grab it.
And then, you know, ran that pipe through there. I also put a collar around the pipe that I custom made using a larger diameter 6-inch gauge pipe, like a stove pipe that went around that. And then that is what we use to keep the heat away from the insulation, because I have quite a bit of insulation in the attic, up to about like R55, R60, well over a foot of insulation. And I didn't want that insulation contacting the heat of the pipe, so I built that collar around it, and then that keeps that heat away. And Clay came in and he put some pipe strapping around the pipe to make sure everything was nice and tight and it wasn't budging, wasn't going anywhere. So I appreciated that extra touch, that extra level of security to the pipe, because when the wind blows, you don't want that pipe, you know, well, toppling over or moving or anything.
And some strapping in the other direction, give it extra support.
Now this video is not a how-to installation video for how to install pipe. That's not the purpose of this video. I'm an artist. I just want to show you how I installed this pipe here. We try to do it to code as much as possible and to do it well. And when Clay was here, he said this is one of the best installs he ever did. I did a lot of legwork ahead of time, but Clay really added his expertise. His brother added his expertise and did a fantastic job for putting in, you know, the top flashing on the roof so we wouldn't have any leakage. That was what I was most concerned about. and his brother came along, and he just like a surgeon, you know, he took apart the shingles and everything, and you know, put in the flashing. I was up there with him, Clay and I. We were all up there together working on it.
I don't have any.
But his brother was just going at it, and he took apart the shingles just right, put in that flashing underneath. It's like you could tell this wasn't his first rodeo. He had done this several times. Well, you have to have, you know, the pipe sticking up a certain amount of feet, you know, so it's up to code. You don't want the pipe too close to the roof. It's got to be, I can't remember what it was, like 4 feet above or something like that, a certain amount. And then anyway, his brother came in and did that flashing, put the collar on the top, you know, the rain collar to keep the water from dripping in. Did a great job at that. And I think not long after the installation, we had a heavy rain. So I was wondering, was the install good? Were we having any leakage? I looked up at my pipe. I went into the attic to check that there to see if any of the sheathing got saturated with rain, but nope, it was dry as a bone. Perfect.
Clay, put on the cap, you do the honors. Perfect. All right, that's it.
Yep, it's all done.
Wired up.
Thanks a lot, Seth.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Clay.
So the guys at CCS Services, Clay Riebe, did a fantastic job helping me install this heater. And now this heater is putting out some nice heat for my studio. No fumes because all the combustion products go straight up the pipe. I love it. It's great. Keeps everything nice and warm for me so I can continue to do artwork. And I have another project on the side I'm working on. Insulation. I got to get this wall insulated because it really had no insulation in it at all. So that's a whole other thing. But I wanted to show you that project. And then that takes me back to you know, the painting I'm working on here for Clay, and it's almost finished. So I just thought of that, and then I thought of the heater that he helped me install, and I thought, yeah, let's do this video. Let's do this video and talk about how he helped me here at the studio to get the vent pipe installed for that heater, and how it dovetails into this painting I'm doing for him, which I'm almost finished at, and I'm looking forward to sharing the final painting with you soon. Of course, you can see it. You see me paint this all along in the process. I've shown you that, but I'm so excited that it's almost finished. As a matter of fact, just happen to have these brochures lying out. I'm going to be at the Falling Leaves Art Tour. A little plug for that. Coming up here, well, in just several days, this weekend, in fact. And I'll have this painting here on display at the Fallen Leaves Art Tour, and I'd like to show that to you there, as well as some other paintings. So if you're in the central West Wisconsin area, come on over. You even have people drive all the way from the Chicago area to see this art tour. So come on up or come on down, come on over and check us out here at the Fallen Leaves Art Tour, October 12th and 13th this weekend, and we'd love to have you there. You'll see these brochures everywhere. So you can just grab one of those brochures or go to fallenleavesarttour.com and get a map from the website as well. But here's the painting. Here's the heater. I guess it kind of makes sense because we're talking about fire, right? Now this is a forest fire. We got the fire contained in the heater. We don't want that going anywhere. We want that to stay right inside the heater. But I just think it all kind of dovetails together. Fire, heat, the whole thing. Artwork. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Just want to share this process with you. Another shout out to Clay Riebe at CCS Services. Contact him for any installation of propane furnaces or HVAC needs, and he'll be glad to help you out. He's a great guy, easy to work with, and he does a superb job on his work. Anyway, well, thanks for watching this video. God bless. Look forward to sharing more with you. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
It's not recording. What's going on?
Take it back off.
Yeah. Okay.
Take two.
Clay, put on the cap. You do the honors. Perfect.
There.
All right. That's it.
Yep, it's all done.
Fire it up. And
Thanks a lot, Seth.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Clay. Yeah, good.